Quick note before we get into it. What you're seeing on screen is an AI avatar, a digital version of me built from my own voice and my own likeness. The words are mine, the science is mine, and the cases are thoroughly researched. Why do it this way? Because I'm a working anesthesiologist. My day job is in the operating room, not in front of a camera. This avatar is how I keep showing up here between cases. Here's my commitment to you. I bring you the cases that shape the world we live in and the people we love, the ones that change how medicine is practiced, and the ones you need to know about before you or your family ever step into a hospital. So please, subscribe, and enjoy. Now, back to the case. There is a 60-second scene in episode 12 of The Pitt, season 2, that has lit the medical internet on fire. A third-year medical student looks at her watch. It says 7 p.m. She turns to her supervisor and says, "My shift's over. I'm not being paid to stay. I'll see you tomorrow." And she walks out. The New York Times wrote a piece about it. Doctors are tweeting at each other about it. Half the field thinks she was a queen. The other half thinks she'll be a terrible doctor. I trained at a prominent and busy hospital in New York City. I worked 60 to 80-hour weeks for 4 years. 6 days per week, 10 to 12-hour days plus call, and I have an opinion about this. And it's probably not the one you think. For those of you who don't watch The Pitt, here's the setup. The show takes place in real time. Each episode is 1 hour of a 15-hour shift. Season 2, episode 12. The hospital is in disaster mode after a mass casualty event that I'm not going to spoil because it's incredible TV. Joi Quan, played by Irene Choi, is a third-year medical student. She's smart. She's snarky. She's done her 12 hours. The senior resident, Dr. Frank Langdon, who just returned from rehab for a drug addiction, catches her at the door. He says, "We need everyone we can get." Joy looks at him and says, 62% of ED doctors report burnout. Maybe you all need to learn how to set some boundaries. Then she leaves. And the next 3 episodes, she's not in them. The New York Times wrote about this scene about a week ago. Why? Because it tapped into a debate every doctor in America is currently having. The internet split into 2 camps. Camp 1, Joy is a queen. She's modeling the behavior medicine has needed for decades. Boundaries, self-care. Refusing to participate in a culture of unpaid overtime. Camp 2, Joy is everything wrong with the next generation of doctors. She'll be a worse physician because of this attitude. Patient care doesn't end at 7 p.m. Dr. Jeremy Faust, a Harvard emergency physician who writes Inside Medicine, said the system perpetuates a cycle of abuse that is justified by this idea that if we don't do this, then there won't be good doctors. I just reject that. He said he's Team Joy. So am I, but not for the reasons you think. Let me tell you about my own residency, New York Presbyterian. I was older than most of my co-residents. I started medical school at 27 after leaving teaching. By the time I matched, I was 31. Married, already thinking about kids. We worked 80-hour weeks, the ACGME. That's the body that regulates residency hours, caps us at 80 hours per week averaged over 4 weeks. The reality? Most weeks I worked 75 to 80, plus call, plus moonlighting. I stayed late so many times. I canceled date nights with my husband. I missed birthdays. I missed my best friend's wedding because I couldn't get the call shift covered. And looking back, I would not do it that way again. I did not become a better doctor because of those extra hours. I became a more exhausted one. Here's the part of this debate I want to get right, because there are 2 real arguments on either side. Side 1, medicine genuinely is not a 9-to-5 job. Patient care continues. Surgeries run long. Emergencies don't respect your shift end. Sometimes you stay because someone's life depends on you staying. That's true. I've stayed many times for exactly that reason. Side 2, burnout is destroying us. According to Medscape's 2024 report, 63% of emergency medicine physicians reported burnout. That's the highest of any specialty. Anesthesiology, my specialty, was at 39%, still high. The pandemic didn't cause this, it just exposed it. We've been doing this to ourselves for decades. And the kids coming up, the Joi Quans of the world, are looking at us and saying, "Why would I do that?" And I cannot blame them, because that question is correct. Now, there's a generational piece to this that I want to be honest about. I'm 45. I'm on the older side of the millennial divide. The doctors who trained in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they worked 120-hour weeks. They slept in call rooms for 48 hours straight. They came home and didn't see their kids, and they survived. So when those doctors look at Joi Quan, they think she's soft. They think she won't be ready. They think she's going to fail her patients. And here's the thing, they're not stupid. They're worried because they know what it took for them. But here's what they're missing. The job they trained for doesn't exist anymore. The way medicine is practiced today, the electronic medical records, the bureaucracy, the prior authorizations, the moral injury of fighting insurance companies for hours, it's a different job. And it requires a different kind of doctor. So what do I actually think about Joi Quan? I think she was right. I think she was strategic. I think her timing was off, but her principle was correct. Because here's the truth. Joi Quan is a third-year medical student. She's not a doctor. She's not a resident. She doesn't have the authority or the legal responsibility to manage a patient. In real-life medicine, a third-year medical student staying late actually doesn't add much value. They can't write orders. They can't write progress notes independently. They can't bill. They're learning. The whole stay late and prove your dedication culture in third year of medical school is frankly a hazing ritual. It's not preparing better doctors. It's screening for people willing to abandon their families. If I had a daughter or son in third year of medical school right now, I would tell them, show up early, work hard while you're there, be excellent, and go home when your shift ends. The career you're saving is your own. Here's why this debate actually matters for you, the patient, because the doctor caring for you in the emergency room at 3 a.m. is either rested or exhausted. A doctor on hour 14 of a 15-hour shift is not as sharp as a doctor on hour 2. The medication errors increase. The missed diagnoses increase. The mistakes that ruin lives, they happen more at hour 14 than hour 2. That's not opinion. That's published in every patient safety journal in medicine. So when Joi Quan walked out and said, maybe you all need to learn how to set some boundaries, she wasn't just protecting herself, she was protecting future patients. If you've ever wondered why the doctor at your appointment seemed distracted, why your test results took weeks, why nobody seemed to remember you, that's burnout. That's the system Joi Quan is refusing to inherit. And honestly, good for her. So my final take, the Pitt got it right. Joi Quan got it right. The medical profession needs to grow up and admit that we've been confusing self-sacrifice with quality of care. They are not the same thing. A good doctor doesn't have to be a martyr. A good doctor is rested, supported, well compensated, and shows up the next day better than they did today. That's the system we need to build. And if you're a parent watching this whose kid is about to start medical school, please tell them what Joi Quan told Dr. Langdon. Boundaries. Set them early, hold them firm. Apologize to no one for taking care of yourself. Next week, I'm going to cover what the Pitt got right about anesthesiology, because there's a brilliant scene I want to break down. Subscribe, and I'll see you for that one.